be done in just a couple minutes here. And I meant to introduce myself, yeah, right?
Yes.
I'm Nikki.
Nikki, so
yeah,
great to
nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Hi.
It's funny how it's like you interact and talk with people, back and forth and all day long, and then you're just like.
Yeah, I always have one for my.
Yeah, because you just started.
We're done?
Right?
Oh, Mike, will you do me a favor and just talk to me to Mike?
Mike on the line? Yeah, so.
Yeah, because I've been here for.
If there's no sound
At Fox.
Here's a mic check for you. How do I sound? Is it good? You good?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Well, here's what happened today. I don't know.
And into the rock for business. I could be a reporter. It was someone who had a rap sheet previously.
Yeah.
And it's by him.
Oh, yes, the guy in the fight.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I was here for that.
Okay. Okay.
It could be 20 minutes. It could be a little sooner than 5:16.
There's actually no census behind it.
Just telling you.
As a
Roll on it. Yeah, that's what I.
He actually, but he's probably going to be coming down. So I think he's here, now that he's with the BCA. So it's going to be like, it's weird, so weird seeing him in that. I'm like, Q, you own other clothes. You're a grown man. Look at you.
Is that light doing anything? Or do you want me to move it forward?
Sergeant. Oh, no. Sergeant Toy.
You can now step out. It's about the same.
Should I put it right? It's fine.
If you want. Yeah.
I mean, it looks fine. I just have it here because Al.
I don't know that we're going to need it, but that isn't doing anything from there.
Yeah.
This is the point, I guess.
No, it usually throws about.
Especially these things.
Then that's whenever you test it.
That I could see. You better do another light though. You have something late. I'll stop with you. Thank you.
What'd you get?
56.
Okay, I was gonna say. Which mic? Char, what was that?
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh. Everything's good here.
You want a mic in case you want to ask any questions?
Sure, why not?
blood comes out of my ears. Then wait till I get into question. Like when they bang.
No, not yet. No timing updates yet. Good?
Yeah.
You guys good?
Actually, let me do this. Get a white balance.
That's what I figured you guys were doing when I was standing here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you just say?
Oh no, it's okay. Just looking near, Mayor Carter will be here. BCA is leading the investigation, and the St. Paul Police Department will be the one to spy camera footage.
Early next week.
Yep. Yep.
they're we'll cut out where
Oh,
we
so
just
they can
started.
fill the whole alley. They just keep.
They say what time you're taking.
Like 4 minutes ago.
Oh.
The mayor's is going to be fairly sad. Said there will be body camera footage next week. Found there's a friend of the guy who died at the parking lot. He was willing to say like they gotta release the footage eventually, you know, the in-store footage too. Yeah, she might still be there if you go back there. Yeah. The guy who died.
Sounds like it's coming.
The deal was, yeah, I mean she was just like across the police gate.
Oh.
But she was like there at the McDonald's spot.
Yeah,
Really nice. Well, not nice, but you know, that's good you found it. Yeah, you mean those like Cub workers or whatever, like over by the entrance side.
No, the three that were like, there was two, they're talking to the guy who got out.
Yeah, they wouldn't talk to me. There were some Cub workers over there, like over if you went on the west or south side. No, I don't know what the deal is.
That's my nap time. That's really nasty though.
Flex.
Me and those two.
Really.
I won't be the one to be providing information. Chief Henry will. I'll introduce myself. You all ready? Hi, thank you for being here. My name is Sergeant Toy Vixavong, Public Information Officer for the St. Paul Police Department. In a couple minutes, Chief Axel Henry will be providing information in regards to today's incident involving our officer-involved shooting. He will be out here in a couple minutes. Thank you. One other thing, keep in mind this is active investigation, and Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is the leading investigations.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Axel Henry. I'm the Chief of Police for the St. Paul Police Department. We'll be providing, if you haven't already got it, a public statement that's being issued by our department, as well as you can expect to get a lot of information from the BCA. But again, I want to remind everybody, this is a new and active scene, and it is not our investigation, so they're going to be limited on what I'm going to be able to tell you and some specifics. I will tell you that just before noon today, our officers were called to a domestic violence call involving a man with a firearm who had apparently pistol whipped a person in the house with that gun and also fired that weapon inside that home. When our officers arrived, they began collecting evidence and taking a report. Apparently at that time, that man had left with a very small child. We put out a description and began to look for that party, and a short time later, approximately 5 or 6 blocks west of that location, in a more commercial area that includes several grocery stores and businesses, a man matching the description with a very small child was reported to have gone into the Aldi's supermarket, which was occupied with a lot of shoppers doing grocery shopping. Our officers went inside that location and did indeed locate a person in there that matched that description. At that time, as they attempted to talk to him, that person assaulted our officers physically and then attempted to flee from the store. At that point, our officers gave foot pursuit, and just before leaving the store, that person produced a firearm, and our officers and that person exchanged gunfire. That person then fled the scene. Thankfully, the young child was left behind, and our officers were able to recover that person and make sure that they were unharmed. And thankfully, no one inside that grocery store was hit by gunfire. The officers then gave foot pursuit further westbound towards the Cub Foods. In between that location, another business was open and had customers in it, and 2 people were shot at that location as the person was running from Aldi's to the Cub Foods. At the Cub Foods, again, another grocery store occupied by a lot of people doing their grocery shopping. Our officers were able to see that person running in towards the entrance of that store. Some shots were fired at that location, and the person went inside the grocery store. We quickly began to evacuate people. As you can imagine, they were running out. People had heard these shots. They saw this person running with a firearm. We were able to evacuate, and our team set up very quickly a rescue squad or team of people to go inside, which they did. They were able to contain that person in the store until we were able to get more SWAT elements there. We began communicating and negotiating with that party, and shortly thereafter, approximately 10 minutes later, that person died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Because of the serious nature of this crime and the vast locations, multiple places where this happened, we have asked that the BCA come in and investigate this for us. I first and foremost want to extend my thanks to the BCA for helping us out in this manner. I'd like to also extend my thanks to the multiple law enforcement agencies surrounding us that reached out during this active shooting and this active shooter threat, offering their assistance. And most importantly, I want to thank the men and women of the St. Paul Police Department who behaved in a way today that was incredibly brave and responded and clearly stopped something from being way, way worse. I don't think it's wrong to say it's a miracle we don't have greater injuries or deaths on this case today. I also want to give a special, special thanks to the people who live and shop and recreate on the east side. There were dozens and dozens of people out at all of these locations, and they responded heroically. They got out of the way. They listened to the commands of officers trying to direct them to keep them to safety. It is sad that we live in a world right now where active shooters and violence like this can happen at this level, but our community responded in a very heroic fashion themselves. But again, I cannot say enough about the work that the men and the women of the St. Paul Police Department who responded to this in real time did. And with that, I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Thank you, Chief. And I just want to echo exactly what the Chief just said. This is one of the most terrifying days that I can remember, one of the most terrifying sequences of events that I can remember in a very long time. This is scary to have a suspect like that discharging a weapon across that many different scenes, across that long of a period of time. Nothing short of a miracle. And some really, really good work by our St. Paul police officers who responded immediately, who put themselves in harm's way, who brought people to safety, and who undoubtedly stood in between our city and a much worse outcome that could have occurred. And so I just want to say thank you to you, Chief. I want to say thank you to those officers certainly to the neighbors and the community members who work with those officers. Our community members, when we work with our officers and share the information and make sure the officers know what they need to know to address an incident like that, we're force multipliers as community members. And so I am going to go to bed tonight very thankful that a scary event didn't end up a whole lot worse as it could have. I'm going to go to bed tonight very, very thankful for the bravery, for the heroism, and for the courage of a large number of St. Paul police officers who, in the face of danger, did exactly what they've been trained to do, put themselves in harm's way to ensure that our community members would all be able to go home and be safe at the end of the day. This is a day that could have ended up a lot differently than the conversation that we're having right now. We've been having conversations. The chief has been telling us for a very long time that we'd rather prevent a gunshot wound than solve a homicide or solve a crime. And so this is all in as a part of our work to eliminate gunfire in our community, to demonstrate to our community members that we don't accept it. We don't accept it in any neighborhood, in any part of our community. We don't accept gunfire. We don't accept gunshot injuries. We do not accept illegal gun activity in our community. And I think our officers did a heroic job today of demonstrating just how seriously we take our job of keeping our community safe. Thank you, sir.
Again, let me just remind you that obviously we've asked the BCA or the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to take this investigation over. So they are the lead investigative unit on this. I imagine as the days unfold, we'll learn more information. So I will take a couple of questions, but keep in mind I'm very limited on what I can answer because we are not leading this investigation. We have turned that over to the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
No, Chief, you said that police exchanged gunfire with the man at Aldi's and in the parking lot of Cub Foods?
That's what it appears to be at this time, correct?
But not inside the Cub Foods?
That's correct. That's what it appears to be at this time.
What's the condition of the people who were shot in that place in between the two grocery stores?
My understanding is those were both thankfully non-life-threatening injuries, and they are in good shape, and they are obviously dealing with what I can't even imagine having to deal with, but they are okay.
It'll be part of the investigation as to who potentially injured those folks, right? Was it in the crossfire or?
It's a part of the investigation, and I imagine they will be interviewed and they will be able to give statements.
So you're not aware of if at that location where two people were shot, was it both the suspect and officers who were firing at that point too?
No, it does not appear our officers were involved in that area.
How many gunshots or rounds did the officers fire? Do you know that?
I do not. The BCA will know that. They will recover the firearms that were used. They'll recover shell casings, things like that. They will determine all those things.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.